taken this one to a completely different level. Most of the trucks that toy trucks that you see are pretty squared off and everything. This one, after really studying trucks and how they're shaped, if you look down this side right here, you can see it's not straight. It actually curves like the side of an actual pickup truck. And this is pretty close to the finish. I mean, I still got 320 and 400 to do on it, and then I got the rear wheels to put in. And this is how it starts. As you can see, you rasp the profile down of what you want it to look like, and then you go to another grade of file, you file that down, and then 150 sandpaper, sand that down, 220, sand that down, because the rasp just gouges big time. And the whole idea is that I'm trying to get the contour. I don't necessarily want to get the shape, but I want to take off the mass amount of material. And then I started to file this down with the smaller file, and then I'll go ahead and finish the shape in so I don't scratch the part that's there. But most vehicles, if you really study the vehicles, they're narrow at the bottom and narrow at the top. The widest part is the human being at the shoulder is the widest part, because basically the car kind of contours to your side. So this one, given a little extra, a lot of detail actually, a lot of details. I'm looking at all those little minute factors. So this side is getting close to be where I want it to be, and this side has just gotten started with the contouring. But the windshield on it, on the other previous one that I did, because this is the only second one I've made on this model truck, I have made a few adjustments. I think we got a video on it, to where I've raised the bottom of the window and I've decreased the amount of material on the top so it looks more realistic. And then the dashboard, I went ahead and added the details for the dashboard. So when it's done, and everything's really fitted snug, perfect. So when it's done, you can see that the hood actually slopes down like a normal vehicle would be. And then it does the cupping like this, and this line right here follows this line right there. So it goes smooth down. And trust me, that was not easy. But yeah, this truck is going to be, basically this is rough. This is glued together, real rough. I mean, I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with the tail yet, so that's real rough there. But this side is rough. And I haven't done anything on this one because I was experimenting on that side. But I won't glue this stuff, the dash or this in, until I've finished all the contouring I want to do on both sides. But the attention, what I'm trying to get the attention on is the hood comes up here, and if anybody's looked at the top of the dash is never straight. It kind of has a tilt. Well, so does that. And when the little guys sit in here, they actually are snug up to the wheel. I decreased the distance here because I increased the distance here. So I brought these closer, which made the seat thinner this way. So I went, okay, well, we'll go ahead and contour it. So it is contoured to each of the teammates. But This is going to be pretty nice. If you look on the bottom side, you can even see the angles of how the body goes. And if you're ever underneath a car, that shape is what it looks like when you're looking up. You can actually see the quarter panels coming up, the curve of it. And that's what makes it look realistic, is when you start adding the curves and the soft, gentle lines of the vehicle. That's when you start seeing, and it looks more realistic. The other thing I did was, if you notice the front, I've narrowed. I'm starting to bring in the front a little bit narrower than the side. I'll do the same thing with the rear bumper, or the back here, is I'll narrow it in just a little bit. These are little fine details that I think most people just kind of, oh, that's a beautiful car. Well, it's beautiful because the lines are natural looking. But the fit and finish on it is, I'm really, really very pleased with the fit and finish on this one. This one is really going together nice. A few little rough spots. But once I get this shape on both sides reasonably close, then I'll cut the rear fenders out. The hard part is normally I usually don't do any contouring, and I just glue these on so it's flat, straight against straight. Well, since I did the contouring, now I've got to contour the rear wheels, the rear fenders, so they match the contour here before I glue it on. And this kind of truck here would be one that you really have to order it, because it's a lot of extra work. All this is hand. Every bit of this is all hand filed, and you can't do too much too fast. You just kind of take it slow and steady. But when this gets done, I think this is going to be beautiful. It really is. I think this one's going to be just absolutely beautiful. Wheels are at, and you look at the wheels and you follow that line, because the wheels are going to be pretty much straight up and down. And you follow that line, and you'll see at the bottom of the car starts like this, because you can see kind of the top of the wheel, and then it curves out and then gently curves like this. That's how a car really looks. And when I was looking at our truck and our Honda and other vehicles on the road, because I'm pretty much on the road every day, and you look at that line, and it's pretty consistent. And the widest part of the car is right where your shoulders are at. So I'll show you. We'll come out here to our truck. So here's my pickup truck. Nothing fancy. The wheels kind of straight up and down, but the truck starts down here and it curves out. And then you can see right where your shoulders are at, it curves back in. So if you look down the truck, down this truck, down my truck, they're pretty close. And to me, that's what makes it look authentic. And that's what I try to do with toys. Is not only do I want them fun to play with, but if you just want to set the thing on your mantle and look at it, it looks like the real thing. Now, if you go out and buy a plastic toy, take a look at it. It is contoured. That's the reason why you look at it and you go, man, that's a nice truck. It's because that's when these guys, when the toy makers manufacture these toys, they take in consideration all these details. That's the reason why I even put the handles and locks on the toolbox, so that you'll know that's a toolbox. Hey, that's where you unhook it and it opens up.